All right, guys, the Immortal Hulk issue number 16 is what we're going to do. We have the Alex Ross cover, and you probably know this particular character. It's Rick Jones, and his story is a little bit about him, but also not. But in the last issue, Rick Jones, I really hate when they do that, but I'm not going to stand still with this. You know my stance about wasting paper. Anyway, Rick Jones was buried and now his body is gone. And we see here maybe a recreation of the first time that he saw the transformation of the Hulk, or that he met the Hulk. Also like this, you know, Hulk transforming, or Bruce transforming into the Hulk, right? And I believe this is his corpse. And he's been, I know this looks like a heart or something. And it's been, you know, this, instead of blood, this green goo, gamma radiation or gamma blood, probably coming out. So this is in Shadow Base, right? Or one of them. They're experimenting on Rick Jones's body. Rick Jones was also a Hulk, a green one, not a good one, but he is also now called A-Bomb, a blue monster with spikes. You know, I mean, there was he. I'm not sure what he's gonna do, become next, because I cannot believe that Rick Jones is dead. Right? He's just one of those guys that keeps resurrecting, just like the rest of the Hulks, because basically he is a Hulk, and I don't like the concept of a Hulk or multiple Hulks. I think there should only be one Hulk. There could be other monsters, but when it comes to the Hulk, Hulk needs to be, well, Hulk, in my opinion. Anyway, we go to Arizona. We have, you know, not the Daily Planet or the Daily Bugle, but it's a newspaper. And she was flipping through Rick Jones' autobiography, and her boss comes. And basically he says, hey, we got some new information about the Hulk, and their job is to break the Hulk story. But then Jackie says, hey, what do we even talk about, right? Because that he's back, that there's footage of him chatting to space raccoons in Manhattan. What do we have that the national papers don't? But she also said, you know, because he went with the Hulk to hell, and then, you know, it did something to her, right? Things that she cannot unseen. Well, so her boss says, an old contact in California sent me this, crime scene photos, house near the beach. So is this another sighting? But then he says, no, its property is registered to Elizabeth Ross Banner, Betty, right? And after her dad's funeral, she took a taxi from the airport. Driver said some homeless guy was waiting for her. Skinny, brown hair. Really? Skinny brown hair? Nah, right? Anyway, she's missing. And so it says, hey, I buy a ticket for you. You need to go there and, you know, find information, you know, for the press, for the paper. Meanwhile, Samson is jumping, or basically Bruce Banner is jumping with Samson to this location. And he talks about, you know, Rick's stolen corpse, and that he felt bad about that. And because, well, Rick died because he wasn't there. And then his mother recruited him. He says, some part of me for his cause. For months, I couldn't even visit his grave. I was ashamed to. Well, I'm not letting him down again. So it seems that some man in black dug up some corpse here, right? All right. But then Lennon wants to talk about, you know, this, and but then he said, can we talk for a few minutes? But then he says, no, sorry, Leonard, we're out of time because the sun is going down, and then we see this freaking cool in transformation. I like this panel layout, also really cool. And he says, what's with the face, Samson? Says the Hulk. Nothing. Hey, I don't suppose you can tell me what's happening here. Well, it seems that he ate a guy or something. And then they go down into Shadow Base Site A, right? And the Hulk smells gamma. And, well, they are right, because they are being greeted by, I don't know, a gamma monkey and bat and a dog or something like that. And, of course, there's an attack and some fighting, right? And it looks great, man. I mean, you know, like I said, The artist Joe Bennett is really good. In my opinion, he does a lot of detail, a lot of body horror. Meanwhile, at Shadow Base somewhere else, it seems that Rick's body is being encased some kind of cocoon, uh, which reminds me a little bit of Adam Warlock, but I don't think it's the same. But you know, and then um, how do you say, General Fortian? I believe he's the big bad guy here, or an antagonist in this book, amongst others, but he's probably the biggest one for now. Um, he is, experimenting on Hulk or Hulk subjects, and he realizes that the Hulk is in, the other side, and he says, "Spring the trap on my signal." All right. Meanwhile, in California, we have Miss McGee or Jackie McGee talking to this cop, and he can't say anything about that, right? Because it's an investigation. But he says, "Hey, half of the conversations I have are off the record, detective. And if you want to take it further, I protect you. I protect my sources. Ask anyone." Off the records, the forensics found blood, bone fragments, and brain matter. It doesn't look good. So he says that someone has been murdered, right? So Jackie says, "Well, you think the Hulk did that?" "I doubt it. We found a bullet hole for one. Shot came from the outside." And then he shows this. Red feathers. What kind of Hulk leaves that? Well, this is probably maybe familiar to older Hulk readers because, okay, I'm giving a little bit of a spoiler here. Betty is gone, her body is gone, and then, we see a female. I'm going to spoil it. If she is Betty, I presume she is. Betty Ross was at one time the Harpy, and the Harpy was a green flying monster with giant claws, from the mythology Harpy, and because she was turned into one. And now she is red because she was once Red She-Hulk. Too many Hulks, in my opinion. So I believe this is another transformation, turning her back into her old Harpy persona. Could be wrong, but that's my guess. Anyway, Hulk is fighting all these monsters, and he's, killing them. But that Samson has a little bit trouble with this bad guy, and Hulk says, "Yeah, I've seen the movies. The bad guy always wins. Leave it to me, Samson." And he, smashes this creature on the floor, and it's dead. "Horrible," he says. "You enjoyed that, didn't you?" "Yeah, I really did. And that ain't good." "No, it's not good. It's not healthy," he says. "I've been waiting for you to realize that." But he says, "Shut up, Samson. Think about it. You figure shadow bases like they're bioweapons, free range. They set them loose so I have something to fight. Keep me happy. Keep me distracted." Now, I like that this Hulk, this version is not completely stupid, that he actually uses his brain. And there's many, many, many Hulk personas, and at one point I can't even figure out how many there are. We have the Smart Hulk from years ago. Yeah, he was with the Pantheon, but that's another story that I'm not going into right now. And this persona is completely different, but still smart. So, okay, Fortia springs the trap, I guess, and then lights. And Hulk says, "Oh no," and he's reversing back to Banner. He says, "What? I'm awake? It's night. It shouldn't be this time." And then, oh no, we have Brubaker. Oh, is it Bruback? This guy that has been all around Hulk here, hunting him, sniping him, killing Betty, right? Because he was the one. He's the bushwhacker, right? UV radiation mixed with visible lights. We called them solar emitters, Banner. And then he shooting Samsung in the head and Bruce in the gut. So he makes jokes, and then he says, "I got the general growling in my ear right now. He sounds like my dad. Agent Brubank, bushwhacker, don't play with your food, you bad boy." And if the Hulk were here, he have a point, but he's not, is he, Bruce? Bruce Banner's here. Bruce Banner's going to feel every second, and Bruce Banner's going to die slow. And he says, I need to hide." And then he's laughing. Bruce Banner, "I got news for you, big shot." And I thought, uh-oh. I ain't Bruce Banner," he says. "He's got a name. Maybe you know it. It's Joe." Yeah, Joe Fixit, the other, the other persona of the Hulk that went to Las Vegas and become a bouncer and having adventures. He was also somewhat smart, smaller, strong, but still not, old school level Hulk strong. And I thought this was interesting. And also his eyes are gray, because he was the gray Hulk back in the day, Joe Fixit. And I thought, wait a minute. Now I'm getting a little confused because Bruce Banner was always Bruce Banner, right? And he can turn himself into other personas of the Hulk, like the Grey Hulk, like the Smart Hulk, like the Childish Hulk, like the Savage Hulk, like Immortal Hulk, you name it. But Joe Fixit having a Banner persona, that's new. So I think that's a cool surprise. I also think it's cool that Fortune, General Fortune, sets a trap to the Hulk that actually works, right? Because mostly if people try to fight the Hulk, they always end up, getting smashed, and probably maybe in the future it's gonna happen too. But still, General Fortune is doing stuff to, trick the Hulk and try to kill him, and sending his goons after him, and to a certain degree, it actually works. I like villains being smart, and actually we seen that them being smart. And this cliffhanger here, and that is what Al Ewing, although I have a lot of problems with his writing, I think this is a good move. I think this is an interesting move. It keeps things fresh. It keeps things going. And basically the cliffhanger says, oh man, I want to know what's happened next. And that's, I hate to say it, but that is a good trope. That is a good writing style. If you can keep your readers engaged but also on their toes to get the next book, that's good writing. I have to give credit where credit is due, but that doesn't mean he's getting off the hook with all of the other problems that I have with him. Still, this is fun. I like it. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. We're going to continue with the next one, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.